Good morning, team. Let's officially begin our audit engagement for Testra's ESG reporting. The key environmental claims we need to examine include their report 37% reduction in Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions, as well as the assertion that they now operate entirely on renewable energy. These are significant statements with major reputational implications. So accuracy is critical. Anna, could you please walk us through any initial red flags or areas of concern you have identified so far?
Okay, let me break this down for you. First, we uncovered a major oversight. Their backup diesels uh, generator aren't be factored into their Scope 1 emission at all. Now, if those generators have actually been running, and let's be real, they probably have, then that's a clear misrepresentation when formed of their actual carbon footprint. It's not just a small error; it's a material misstatement that skews their inter sustainability reportings. And here is the second issue. Telstra publicly taught being powered by 100% renewable energies, but when you look at the details, their contract wind farm do not generate nearly enough to cover their demand. So what's really happening? I think maybe they are still rely on the standard grid, which is mostly coal-based. That means their 100% renewable claim is misleading because in reality, a significant portion of their energy still comes from the fossil fuels.
Mm, yes. We also noticed multiple logistic partners reporting the same emission figures. This could possibly be double counting. This could inflate total Scope 3 figures. Furthermore, several partners didn't provide primary emissions data, instead used outdated conversion factors. That introduces further uncertainty into our estimates. I suggest we segment our Scope 3 testing by logistic region, which could be metro versus regional, so we can identify inconsistencies more accurately.
Yeah, also I have reviewed Testra's previous ESG disclosures and noticed a lack of reconciliation between purchase RECs and actual consumption data. We will need to treat improvements records to match them into energy usage log to validate the 100% renewable claim. Yeah.
Good. So our objectives are validate emission boundaries, confirm renewable procurement claims, and test ESG governance controls. Let's proceed to risk assessment and sampling.
So
I think we have reviewed your emission reporting. Several issues have surfaced. One, Scope 1 does not include backup generators. Two, Scope 3, logistics emissions are reported twice across
Mhm.
vendors. Three, wind farm data shows generation deficit.
That does sound concerning. For the diesel generators, they're just emergency use, so we excluded them. We assumed the emissions were negligible and wouldn't materially affect our reporting. But I can see how that might conflict with GHG protocol guidelines. I'll engage with our facilities team to retrieve usage logs. We may need to prior restate data as well if these weren't included earlier.
um, according to the GHG protocol, if used even occasionally, they must be included in Scope 1. We recommend a conservative approach here. Even if infrequent use can add up over time, especially during peak energy demand months. And if we exclude them, your report risk being flagged as no complaint by external reviewers or sustainability no indices. Yeah.
Okay, so these generators fall under Telstra's operational control. Uh, the I guess the emission could materially misstate Scope 1 boundary. We'll reference the GHG protocol's control approach and ensure that it's correctly reflected in the inventory.
And also, your device recycling rate may be overstated. You are recording items as recycled before they reach the recycler, right?
Yeah, we'll just need to adjust our internal tracking timelines and I'll follow up with our recycling vendor.
Thanks all. In light of issues identified, particularly with incomplete Scope 1 reporting, duplicated Scope 3 data, and discrepancy in renewable energy sourcing, we will need your cooperation and follow documentation to ensure our conclusions are well-founded. We plan to increase our sample size and perform additional testing on the adjustments you mentioned. Transparency and accurate disclosures are essential here.
Okay. So we discovered a major issue. It looks like a hacker accessed Telstra's climate platform through an old API vulnerability that was found last year. Sensitive emissions and procurement data are at risk. This wasn't an isolated probe either. We found signs that there were repeated access attempts over a 4-week period. More concerningly, audit logs weren't enabled, so we have limited visibility into what was accessed to and modified. I believe this is a significant control gap.
Yeah, that's severely compromised data integrity. It's a control failure.
Yeah, and I checked the platform architecture. The API in question wasn't deactivated after the system upgrade, which follows the basic IT general control practice. Also, there's no evidence of multiple factor verification for backend access.
That's a serious development. Cybersecurity breach compromise the integrity of the ESG data platform signals a significant internal control failure. Given the potential exposure of sensitive data, we will escalate this as a high-risk audit issue. This could also result in the inclusion of inferences of meta paragraph in our final audit opinion to highlight the severity and the impact of this vulnerability.
Yeah, agreed. I recommend the platform forcing login analysis and requires a written representation for IT to confirm containment measures. This could affect assurance scope if data reliability is compromised.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. Here are our key findings. First, Scope 1 emissions understated due to missing diesel data. Second, renewable energy claim not supported by actual supply. Third, LTI rates increase omitted from ESG report. Fourth, cybersecurity breach on ESG platform. Fifth, EY's previous auditor only sampled 30% of emission data.
Yeah, that's a lot to digest. Thanks for laying it out so clearly. On the diesel usage, yes, you are correct. Diesel generator have been used practically during regional outage and set maintenance. It looks like those records won't fully integrate into the emissions calculation. We will work with our operations team to gather the missing data and ensure it's disclosed transparently in our next report. And regarding the renewable energy claims, I agree the current wording may be misleading. We have purchased renewable energy certificates. The actual energy supply will still large come from the grid, which includes fossil fuel sources. We will revise the language to clarify the distinction between grid delivered energy and contract renewables, and include the percentage of our total energy mix that is genuinely sourced from clean contracts. Also, I wasn't aware the previous audit only sample 13% of the emission data. That's concerning. We will revisiting our assurance scope going forward to ensure the more comprehensive review. Yeah.
Adding on, yeah, we'll revise the LTI figures and improve vendor documentation. Yeah.
And we propose an emphasis of meta paragraph given remediation is underway and your willingness to disclose.
Yeah. We understand transparency is critical. Yeah.
Okay, our substantive testing process proved invaluable in identifying critical gaps in ESG reporting framework. We discovered that nearly 30% of sustainability metrics lacked proper documentation trails. This audience has clearly demonstrated that ESG reporting cannot rely on assumptions or outdated process. Moving forward, we should recommend implementing standardized data collections protocols and third-party verification for all material ESG metrics. The level of scrutiny we applied to financial statement must be equally applied to sustainability disclosures.
This also showed how IT vulnerabilities can derail ESG disclosures. Cyber risk must be an audit focus as well.
Agreed, ESG is now central to auditor credibility. Great work, team.